I want to also make a video about what do women actually bring to the table. What do they offer a man? Because to my understanding, you guys don't really offer much. And you guys hold sex as a big thing, and to men, sex is not a big thing. You guys get emotional about the sex. To us, we can have sex and not have any feelings towards you at all, depending on your attitude or what you physically look like. The same standard and high standard you hold to a man having a car or be a certain height or a certain build or have certain kind of money income is the same standard we hold to what you physically look like. So I want to clear this up so the women understand. If we get the pussy today and we marry you a year from now or 3 years from now, what difference will the pussy be? Will the pussy be magical? Will it be different? Pussy will be the same. So there's really no incentive for the man to marry you if it's just about your pussy. It's not special because it's not going to change. The only reason why a man would marry you would be the package. The pussy's good. He gets it when he wants. It's clean. You cater to him. You treat him nice. And you give your all to him and you're honest. You can get the husband. You can get the husband. But if you're just giving the pussy, or let's example, you giving the pussy to a whole bunch of people, right? And then you bringing the pussy over here because, yeah, you look good, but you done been around the block. You like the buffet. Everybody's had their turn around the table. Then you come over here and you say, well, that was before. This is a good point for the women who've done all these men, had their hot girl summers, or, been on OnlyFans, or, did porn. Let me explain why you guys are never going to get married. The way men are wired, we don't want a woman that every man has had. We can like you enough to sleep with you, but not like you enough to date you. We can like you enough to date you, but not like you enough to marry you. We deal with you according to what you show us and how you are and what we physically see. Example, ladies, this is real. Okay, it's gonna be a little tough, but shit, y'all don't have no problem telling the men if you ain't a certain height, you won't date him, and if you ain't got a car, you won't date him. And you had no problems calling the dudes scrubs, or overweight, or not your type. So I ain't gonna have a problem telling you this. These are the things that this is something important. First, I'm going to do the turn off for a man, a few things, and then I'm going to go into important about the body. It's very important that I tell you this, because women, you're going to trip when you hear it, but it's true. And the men know it's true. We don't like a woman who smells. You've been with a lot of people, your pussy ain't going to smell right. If you sleep with multiple people, your pussy's not going to smell right. We don't want a woman who's been with a whole bunch of people. Turn off. We don't like a woman who smells. Major turn off. If you smell, the dick will drop like a log, like a weight, and he will not ever want to sleep with you again because you smelled that one time. Now, if he's been in a relationship with you and he's used to your smells, no problem. But if this is a guy that just met you, he's getting ready to sleep with you, and you smell, ask any man, we're done. We're not talking to you no more. Don't matter, you gonna go get clean. We don't matter how good you look. We don't want you. I'm telling you what it is. We don't want you. Bad attitude. We don't want you. Hygiene problem. We don't want you. Been with a whole bunch of men. We don't want you. And we will not ever change our minds about that. That's like the leftovers from the lower men from everybody else. That's like you bringing me the scraps that was left over after those men to a man that is a higher caliber, in better shape, got more going for himself. Why would I want the leftovers of men that are below me, or men that you done chose? Because you guys are bad judges of character and you don't know how to pick men. So why would I want to go behind the men that are not on my level? That makes no sense, ladies. You can't go out there, sleep with a whole bunch of men and think that, he'll still, my past doesn't matter. It does to all men. Your past matters. Listen to me. To all men, your past matters. But The below average man, the man that has a hard time dating, the man that couldn't get a companion, the old guy, the fat guy, the guy that's tore up, short, that he couldn't get nobody and he didn't do nothing about his physical appearance, and he don't, he'll accept you. He might accept you. But when you go after that money, you're going to sacrifice the physical attraction part. And here's what the men will say, well, that's, need to be a man that, stability. Yeah, okay. But here's what I got to say to the guys who think that way. If you're old and you're out of shape and you're out of shape, fat, and you just tore up, or you this, and you don't do nothing about your physical body, let me just tell you something. She'll use you to take the money, and then she'll go fuck the guy when she cheats with the guy that looks good. She's never going to stay faithful to you when she's not physically attracted to you. Let me explain something to the men. Physical attraction never goes away for a woman. What she likes, she likes. The same, ladies, when it comes to men. If a man prefers younger women, that's why this other part that I was going to say is very important for the women. Men are very easy to sleep with. Because I heard a lady say, men are just easy. And no man corrected her because men, didn't have the words to say, I don't know. But I'm going to tell you, all the ladies like this. Men are easy to sleep with. But they're complicated when it comes to dating in a serious relationship, living together, or marriage. We get complicated at that point because we want particular type of woman. Now, ladies, what I was going to say that's going to be a little tough to the ears, but you need to hear it so you understand men better. A man will see a woman and use her for what he can use her for. And when I say that, don't take it out of context. I don't mean use you for what you got. No. I mean, let's say you're a beautiful woman and you come in, but you got a bad attitude. When we first saw you, we're like, damn, man, I'll marry her. This is it. I'm ready. This is the one. This gonna be my wife. That's how we look at it. That's how we really think. But as soon as you start talking and you got a bad attitude and you're like, oh, I like the club, or, oh, I got my family, my business, or I got 3 kids, all that marriage shit and relationship shit goes instantly out the window. It will never change. Once we put you in a basket, it's only 2 baskets. Recreational use only. Boyfriend with potential to marry. Girlfriend with potential to marry. That's it. All right. So, but I was going to say, being your boyfriend to marry you, but it's the same shit. Doesn't matter. So anyway, this important. So, all right. You know how you ladies say, well, he got to be a certain height and he got to, look like this, or he's got to have a 6-pack, or okay, so let me show you how men are similar to you guys in another way. If you be the man and you don't listen to that man, that will be the end of your relationship down the road as he dates you. A man doesn't have to worry about time, but a woman does. He can make babies until he dies. He gets his best body in his later years. You get your best body. A woman gets her best body in her early years. A woman is born with more value than a man. She inherits her titties, hips, and ass. She don't have to go build it. A man is born with no value. He has to build the body that he wants. He has to build the lifestyle that he wants. He has to build up to get the car that he wants. He has to build to get the career that he wants. He has to build and put time in to get the house and everything he wants. So we have to become what you want before you guys will even consider to date us. So it's hard for a man to get a date, especially with the way you guys are just doing crazy shit and thinking that the rich guy is going to pull up in a Lambo and pick you up from the bus stop, or roll up to your Uber and you never going to Uber again because the rich guy in the Lambo or the Bentley or the Rolls Royce, he's just going to pull up and take you out the Uber and sweep you off your feet. Y'all got some fairy tale imagination, rainbow land shit going on over there. Delusional like I don't know what, passing up all your great opportunities because most of you are just average looking women. Period. All right? And those guys are not checking for you. They'll sleep with you if they can, if they want to, but they're not going to ever marry you or date you. But here's the part that's very important, ladies. See how you got your preferences? Here's a man. If you talk to a man and he's a titty man, titty guys are usually pretty face, long hair. Those are like the type of women they would like. Guys who love titties love a pretty face with the long hair. Okay? Some guys want straight hair. Some guys want a blonde. Some guys want a woman with black hair. Some guys want a woman with boobs. Some guys want a woman with hips and titties. Old white guys and really rich guys, they tend to like petite women. They like the pretty face, titties, long hair, beautiful face, no big booty, no big hips and thighs. They think that's fat. They don't want that. White men are very strict about what they want the woman to look like. Okay? Black men and Spanish men and some white men, but mostly black men, the women that the white men will find fat, the black men will find fine. Because they like booty and thighs. But listen to it. The guys who like titties, pretty face, and long hair, they're usually head guys. They love head. They love the woman to get them head. Okay? They love you to slob on that knob. Alright? They want to sleep with you too. But those are head guys. Squeeze the titties, head guy. They're not booty and hips guys. So if one of those guys you're talking to meets you, and you have the booty and the thighs, you got the big booty and the thighs, he will never marry you. You can be pretty and he'll sleep with you, he'll squeeze them titties, he'll throw you a little something and take you on a couple of dates, but he's never going to marry you. Because you're not the woman he wants, you're not her. Because you're considered fat to him. He won't even sleep with you all that much because of what he's not attracted, what he don't want. Now, ladies, let's say you meet a guy and he likes booty and hips. This is very important. Get over here. Make sure you hear me. Turn your hearing aids and you're listening all the way up what I'm about to tell you. If you don't have the booty and the hips and you got a flat booty, no deal. He's never going to marry you. You could be sweet. You could make flapjack pancakes. You could cater to him. You could suck his dick till the cows come home. You could put in with him. He's never going to marry you or date you or take you serious. You'll be fun to hang out with, but he's not going to marry you. And this is the truth, because if he likes hips and booty, he could never settle for a woman that doesn't have that. Now, ladies gonna be like, oh, but you're nice, but the heart. You don't think about that when you're telling the little short guy that you don't want him. You don't think about that when you're telling the fat guy that you don't want him. You're not thinking about that when the guy is that don't have a car and he's Ubering or he's catching the bus. You don't think about that. You just don't want that, right? That's how we are too. But the difference with us is we mean it. We're not emotional. We know what we want. Now, let's say you also have guys that want you to have the entire package. Okay? You also want guys to have, the higher you go up with men, as far as money go or looks go, it's some very strict men that want particular things. They'll tell you they like you. They'll tell you they would date you. They'll tell you all the things you want to hear, because ladies eat that up because they want to fuck. To a man, he could sleep with you one time and that could be it. And you'll say, well, he didn't really get anything. Yeah, he did. He got 90% of you. You put your whole life on the line. Kid, there's anything he could have gave you, you put your whole life on the line to be with the guy. So when you try to play it or downplay it and say, even if the sex was bad, even if it lasted 5 minutes, even if it wasn't nothing good, even if you didn't come, it don't fucking matter. Even if you were in your teens, if he fucked you, he fucked you. That's how men look at it. We don't look at it the way you look at it. Did you ever sleep with him? Well, yeah, but I was in college. We don't give a shit. That was 10 years ago. We don't care. You fucked him. And that never goes away. Because men know men. If the man liked you and he slept with you, he liked you. It ain't never went away. Men don't change when they like you. Unless something happens to you or you're just so fucked up that he can't deal with you. let's say I have a lot of really rich friends, homeboys, and I remember talking to this one guy, and he's rich as fuck, and he said the woman had to have titties. He didn't care much. He wanted some booty, but he wanted her to have a pretty face, and he wanted her to have titties, and he wanted her to have black curly hair. He said if she didn't have the black curly hair, he wouldn't marry her. I say, well, what if she had the black curly hair but didn't have the titties, but she had the pretty face and the body? He said he wouldn't marry her. And he wouldn't budge from that because he said he's a titty man. If he had to pay for her to get her titties done, he would do it just so she would have the titties. But he said if she didn't want to get her titties done, he was not going to marry her or ever take her serious. Ladies, listen to what I said, because there are men out there, a lot of men that you're going after. They have preferences, and if you don't listen to those men, you can't get mad when the relationship 2 years or 5 years down the road, you find out that he never was going to marry you and he went and switched to somebody else, because he never, as men, we know we would marry you from the very beginning. There's not something we have to wait around and no, that's not it. We want to get to know you, but physically what we would marry or what we would date is in front of us. If your attitude is bad and we see that you got a bad attitude, no one wants that around them all the time. So you is somebody with recreational use only. And if your attitude is real bad, then you recreational use only one time. We're not going to go through a whole bunch of hoops and hurdles to keep sleeping with you when your attitude is bad. We just don't want to deal with that. We would rather switch and get somebody with a better attitude. So you're never going to get married because your attitude. So if you would make these adjustments or fix these things, you'll keep your man. What it took to get the man is going to take to keep the man. If you was in good physical shape when you got with him and he was attracted, all right, there's another thing. If he was attracted to you, you need to stay in that good physical shape. If you want him to stay attracted to you, you got white guys that the woman will have the baby, his baby, but she'll gain 50 pounds, 40 pounds. He'll say she's fat, and he'll just slow down and stop sleeping with you. And the woman will say, well, the sex just isn't there. Oh, he can't get it up. It ain't that he can't get it up, ladies. Because y'all like to throw that around that the men penises don't work. You might have a few that don't, but the majority of men penises work just fine. They may have a little harder time getting that erection, but they get that erection, okay? When the man slows down sleeping with you, and he used to sleep with you a lot, it's something about you that is making him not want to sleep with you. Okay? You gained weight. Your people and your friends are going to tell you, oh girl, you still look good, oh girl this, oh girl that. It don't matter what they think, it matters what the man think. And it also matters what he's attracted to. So if you see little slim women and you are a little slim woman, he loves slim women. If he starts talking to you about losing weight, he don't like your weight. You can't ignore something because you don't want to change it. You have to listen to it, ladies, because y'all don't like to deal with reality. And you have to listen to it because he's telling you what he wants. Whether you want to comply and give it to him or not, that's up to you. But he's telling you what he wants. Hey, I want to eat. Hey, I want to come home to a meal. Hey, I want you to clean up. Hey, you guys don't really offer much. Sex is just sex to us. If that's all you're going to give us and then we're going to be doing everything else, then why would we want to sign on to a lifetime for that? And before you ladies say, well, we don't need to get married. We could be, like I said, I got a video on that as well. It's called Husband, Boyfriend. A boyfriend would never do the job of a husband unless he sees you as a wife. If he's not going to marry you and he doesn't see you as a wife, if you get hurt, he ain't coming. He's not going to take care of you. If you need to be rolled around in a wheelchair, he's going to leave you. If you get broke down on the side of the road, he ain't coming. If he just sleeping with you and he's not coming. The only man that will come is a man that really likes you and wants to be with you like that. But ladies, men are very picky. You got men that are head men. And when I say that, I mean, sloppy Joe, sloppy toppy, licking the lollipop, okay? That shit. Those men will prefer head over the pussy. So those men are like nice full lips, pretty faces, long hair, boobs, right? They don't care much for your bottom half. They want that. And if he's into that, you got to give him a lot of that. Otherwise, he gonna go get it somewhere else. You got men, they just want to fuck in your ass. You got men, they wanna beat the cootie up. They wanna beat beat them cakes up. Okay, they wanna play patty cake with you a lot. Those men want a lot of sex. You can do head, but they want sex. They don't really care for the head. It's all about the man you choose and the type of man you got and what he's into. And this is really how men are. And so you have to know what type of man you got. Because if you got a man that's into, that is into oral, and he really prefers oral over the sex, he's expecting a lot of head. And if you give him what he wants, he's super happy. But you also got to, your appearance got to stay up. But he still wants you to do it. If you got a man, he's just into sex and he don't care a lot for head. He like the head, but he's more into the sex part. You got to give up the sex a lot. And there are different men like different things. So you can't just say, well, I was giving head a lot to my last, and the new guy, that I'm with now, he's cool with that. He might be a dude that want to fuck a lot, and he want the head too, but he want to fuck a lot, and then you not really like to have sex a lot. That's gonna be a problem, and that relationship won't last if you're not willing to adjust and adapt and go over to give him what he's asking you for. If a woman is overweight or super thick, the men will sleep with you, they'll kick it with you, they're never gonna marry you. And the men you want, they're never gonna marry you, and they're never gonna take you serious. They'll date you, but they know that after you have that first kid or when you get older, boom, you're gonna blow up. And so men, this is how men look at it. I'm giving you some real reality, harsh truth, because women need to hear it, because you guys really don't understand just how men are and just how fast we make decisions. You got men that want to be cooked for, right? He want a woman that can cook. If you can't cook, he's not going to marry you because you can't cook. He's going to be like, I want a woman that can cook. And, I like woman cooking for me. If you can't cook and you don't want to cook, he's not going to ever marry you. He'll date you, kick it with you. Y'all be dealing with each other for years, but he's never going to marry you because you won't. If men won't marry you, there's something about you that they don't want. Or you're just not their dream girl type. And you got men that they want to marry the woman of their dreams. They want the woman to look a certain way. They want her to also be a certain way. So when I say men are a little more complicated when it comes to marriage, we are. When it comes to sleeping with you, it's not that complicated. Yeah, I could sleep with her, but I would never date her and I would never marry. We know this from the beginning. We make the decision as fast because we're a physical creature. You guys are emotional. You like the physical, but you will overlook what the guy physically looks like for what he has and what he could do for you. And we're not those people. We're not caring about what you got because you ain't giving it to us. We care about what you physically look like and your attitude and your ability to cater to us. When you're talking about a serious relationship and you're talking about marriage, that's important, ladies. If you say you're not going to marry, it's still important, because the men that will date you and take you out and sleep with you, but he's never going to marry you, there are certain things he's never going to do. All those very serious things that you want, he's not going to ever do it because you're not his wife. And he's not going to marry you. He's not going to sit and pay your bills. He's not going to take you on shopping sprees. He might do a trip with you here and there, but he's not going to go on trips with you. He's not going to be reporting you. You're not his wife. He's not going to come if you get sick and take care of you and all this shit. If he don't see you as a wife, you just somebody he's sleeping with, he ain't coming. You get a flat, you're on your own. You get stuck somewhere, you're on your own. He ain't coming because he's not your husband. And I'm seeing a lot of women that want men who they meet and who they're just dating or boyfriend and girlfriend with to do the job of a husband. So you guys are thinking in your head, ladies, because I see it, that a man should just do man things and that you could just date the guy and the guy will still treat you like you was a wife even though he ain't marrying you. And I'm here to tell you that is not happening. They ain't coming. If you waiting on that, they ain't showing up. They're leaving. And if you think it's a lie, ask the men. A man will take a bullet for his wife. He's not going to take a bullet for a girlfriend that he doesn't see as a wife. A man will go in the middle of the night to wherever the woman he sees as his wife or his wife is got a flat, and he'll get her right and make sure she's safe. He's not going to do that for a woman he's just sleeping with. He's just not. So ladies, you got a lot to learn about men, and you better get it together because you're going to die alone. The men, on the other hand, if you really think about it, all we care about is the sleeping with the woman. Once we went there and did that, it's like went there, did that, had that experience, it's over. So for you to get him to give you his key to relationship and marriage, you have to show him what he would be, why should he pick you, and what he'll be getting if he was to marry you, why he should pick you over all the other women. So you have to actually show the man, and you have to actually prove to the man and show the man why he should marry you, because there's bunches and bunches of beautiful single women out here. There are millions more of you than us. And so if you think, oh, I'm going to leave this guy and I'm just going to go back out there. Well, you have all these high expectations, right? And you have all these preferences, like you want to be a certain height, you want to make a certain amount of money, you want to drive a certain kind of car, you want to have a certain type of body, you want to be a certain color. Guess what? Those are preferences. That means he's a rare man. You don't walk out the door and just find that guy. So if you leave or sleep with a guy and he's that guy, and you say, oh, I didn't like this, it was disagreement, I'm just going to go you can go get anybody to sleep with, but you can't get the guy you want to give you a relationship, take you serious, and marry you. You can sleep with 100 guys, but you can't get nobody to marry you or take you serious. And that's a rare guy, so you don't see that guy every day. However, when you flip that coin over, because it does have a flip side, the guy finding another pretty, fine woman like you is everywhere. So the men have options, the women really don't have options, and you don't have time. Because as you get older, your beauty will fade. You'll say, well, I still look good. To the man, you're older. And a lot of men don't typically like or want to date older women. You guys are difficult to deal with. Older women should be easier to date. They're harder to date. And men don't typically like older women. Only a small selection, few of us like older women. And so when you women are being all picky and talking about, oh, well, he's too young, or he's this, or, oh, he ain't tall enough, or he ain't this, and you already old, it's over. It's curtains for you. You lucky to get a nigga with a heartbeat, with a pulse. You can't sit there and be picky when you're already over the hill. You're aging out. Your beauty is going to fade. You still can look beautiful, but there's no way your 40-some-year-old self can compete with your 20-some-year-old self. And remember, the man can marry anybody from 18 all the way up to his age group. The woman, however, she can't. Remember, the man is sharing his stuff with the woman. The woman don't really share much with the man. You guys, like I say, you don't really offer anything. So the man, if he's going to marry, he got money. The higher you go up with those preferences, expectations, and what you want him to be and have, the more pickier they are, and the harder it is for them to take you serious. The higher you go up, the less patience the men have for bullshit and hoops and hurdles and obstacles. He not finna wait around for you to play with him with the pussy. You can't play with that guy. You can't play with that guy that got the looks and got the money, because he got options. You coming in, you trying to lock in and get a deal. You trying to make a deal. You trying to come in and make a deal. You supposed to be throwing the pussy to him, giving it to him, because you want to get in with him. But to sit and think you could play with somebody that has all the cards on their end of the table, everything in their favor, all the options, and they can get a woman with a snap of a finger, he ain't studying you. Because he can't marry everybody anyway. He can only choose one. And he's not going to be studying you. He'll be like, she's unstable, or she got a horrible attitude, or she not wife material, or she got a bad attitude, I don't even want to deal with her anyway. And just like that, you're casted to the side. And he never will worry about talking to you again. It's over. We're not emotional creatures, ladies. We're not. We're logical. We're common sense. We're logical. We don't go in things hoping it'll be good. That's y'all. We go in there and we say, man, if she ain't cooking now, she ain't gonna cook later. I won't ever marry her. I can't live with her or date her. Man, if she got a horrible attitude now, Imagine if we would have lived together, if I would have married her or have a kid with her. I would have to deal with this for a lifetime. Man, I'm just going to cheat. I'm just going to hit this and I'm going on. I'm just going to do my thing with her and it's over. I'm not going to go any further with her. Oh, she's super thick and she's younger, or she's in her mid-20s, or she's in her she's in her 20s, not to 30 yet, or she ain't had no kids. He'll date you, he'll talk to you, but he's not gonna marry you. And he ain't gonna make but he ain't gonna want no babies with you either, because he knows if you had that kid and you super thick, you're gonna get fat. And that's how men look at it. And we're talking about all men. So, period. Now the guys that you will maybe be able to get in with, that will still accept you, will be the men you don't want. So for the money, since you guys want the guy to have certain things, you will have to sacrifice the physical looks, meaning being attracted to him. You would have to sacrifice for the money. He'll be attracted to you, but you won't really be attracted to him. But you'll have the money with the guy you don't want to be with, that you got to roll over every day with, look in the bed, suck his dick, pretend whatever you're going to do, and then you're going to go try to cheat on him. Because that's exactly what y'all going to do. That's what y'all do. Y'all going to make y'all babies with guys like that, or guys that don't have anything. And then then when you get over the hill, or you start to age out, or you start to have a midlife crisis where you're seeing your beauty fade when you look in the mirror, and you're getting older and you're looking at all these people get what they want, and then you got to lay with that guy every day and see him every day. Now you want a divorce. Now you guys are growing apart. Now, everything changed. Now all of a sudden you don't get along. Now all of a sudden, you need to separate. You need to go your separate ways. You guys just grew apart. And then soon as you start fucking the next guy, he's the opposite of that guy. He's the guy that you wanted. And that guy is just going to fuck you. He ain't going to date you or take you serious. He ain't. He just wants some ass. There are very few men that will take a woman that's older and take her serious. So when you got these older women, I love older women. And I see some bad ones, but your attitudes are horrible. You guys walk around like you're the shit and you got all this time and all these options and you ain't got none. If it was that easy, you'd have been had your man. A lot of y'all been single a long time because you're very difficult to get along and deal with. And as an older woman should be easier to date, not harder to date. A younger woman is a little harder to date because she wants to do this and she wants to, have her pick of that, and she don't really know what she wants. But the older woman shouldn't come in with all these games in the streets, in the clubs, trying to be picky, trying to make certain standards. You're old. You also have to look at where you at in life. You can have a nice body, but you're old. You can't offer a lot of things. You really don't offer much. And then you want to come in being old and being picky, having a bad attitude, talking about what you want and what you want the guy to have. Those men that you're describing don't want you. I'm telling you that. Because if they did, you'd have them. And you wouldn't be looking, and it wouldn't be so hard if it was just a whole fleet of those guys. But guess what? It's a whole fleet of women with the nice bodies just like yours, but better and younger. And they don't, they haven't lived life like that. They don't have the miles. They're not refurbished engines. They're not classic and antiques. Now, I love them with low miles, of course. I love them when they still look good and they've been taken care of. That means, translation, married most of your life, or multiple marriages, like you've been married twice, or you've been married most of your life to one man, or you haven't really been with a lot. I'll take that. If the attitude is good and you still got to be physically nice looking, that I'm attracted to you. That's it. But your attitude has to be nice and you got to be willing to cater to me, which is what you're supposed to be willing to do anyway. So, excuse me, but I have to say that. So I'm going to make a video on this. It's a lot of shit I got to cover in there.